Hey, welcome back to the channel. Aaron from Smokey Tire Barbecue. Today we're going to be doing a little quick review and fire management on the cotton gin smoker, the Harvester. Let's light them up. So one of my cooks that I posted on Instagram, somebody actually messaged me and they were saying that they were having some issues with their cotton gin smoker Harvester not really holding temp very well. And so it got me to thinking, I wanted to show you how I actually set up my charcoal when it comes down to using this cotton gin smoker. Now, cotton gin smokers does offer, well, pretty much gives you a free bag of Fogo charcoal, which is good charcoal, but unfortunately for me, I like B&B charcoal a lot better, so that's what I use. B&B charcoal offers a wide variety of different types of charcoal, be it the competition char logs, the hickory lump, they do oak lump, they also do the briquettes. But for me, I personally like using the competition logs. What I do is I layer some on the very bottom, and then I'll add in some lump on top, and then I will also put in some chunks of wood. Typically, I like to use cherry, pecan, hickory, apple. Any of those will work, but for ribs and pretty much everything, oak, hickory, cherry, apple will all work just fine. As you can see, like I said, I only put in a little bit on the very bottom, and I use the competition logs at the very bottom of my base. Then I'm going to add in the lump next. Depending on what I'm cooking, it all depends on how much charcoal you're going to use. What I typically do is I fill it up to about the halfway mark. Then I'm going to add in my chunks of wood, and then I'm going to put in more of the lump charcoal. Now, at this point, if you wanted to add more competition char logs, you absolutely can. What this is going to do is going to prolong the smoke, so you can do a very long smoke. If you're going to do a very low temp, it'll work just fine. If you're going to do a high temp, 325, something along those lines, you're going to make sure you're going to fill this basket all the way up. As you can see, I got my chunks of wood already on top and kind of blended in. Now I'm going to add a little bit more charcoal, and then I'm going to start my chimney and get it going. After each cook, what I typically do is I'll go through and I'll grab the charcoal that is still big enough and still didn't get burned down all the way. What I do is I typically add about halfway up new charcoal, and then I'll add the recycled ones on top. Shout out to Chud's Barbecue for the chimney. Man, it's awesome. And also what I'll do is I'll sprinkle a little bit of the bigger chunks down in the bottom as well, and just kind of recycle and reuse them. Save a little bit of money where we can. Now that the charcoal is pretty much lit over, we're gonna take it, we're gonna dump it right in. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and put the heat deflector in, or you can go ahead and put your triangle bar in if you wanted to hang ribs. So what we're gonna do today, we're actually gonna be hanging some ribs. And what we're gonna do once we close the lid, we're gonna open up the vents and go wide open until we stabilize the temp and get close to our target temp, which is gonna be about 250. So I've opened them up or closed them back down to about a finger width length for me, or about a quarter open. Again, one thing I love about this smoker is the fact that I can open up this door and throw in some chunks of wood, which we're getting ready to do. I'm going to throw in a couple chunks so I can go ahead and get some smoke rolling. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my ribs and go ahead and throw them on. Now what we did, we actually did put that diverter plate, that heat plate in, because our target temp was shooting up way too fast, so we actually turned it back down to put that plate in to kind of offset it a little bit. But right now we're rocking at a little over 250, probably about 254 right now, which is fine. We want to stay between 250 and 275. So I'm getting ready to open this thing up and throw in chunks of wood. Now that our grill is stabilized, now we can go ahead and throw on the meat. So it has now been 3 hours since we put the ribs on and bumped up the temp at the second hour mark after I took them off and wrapped them, sauced them to 300. And man, this thing held out awesome. It's held temps, it's been amazing. Ribs are nice and tender. Everything looks good. You know, man, this thing is just a workhorse. I apologize for the bad lighting. I mean, it is a little bit darker. It's the winter time here in the South. It gets dark around like 5 o'clock now. So it's still puffing out good smoke. So yeah. At the end of the day, it's pretty much whatever charcoal you like and what your preference is what you're going to be using, honestly. Again, for me, I like B&B charcoal. If you like Fogo, if you like Kingsford, either way, it's going to work just fine. What I do recommend is practice and learning your drum smoker and learning what works for you. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Also, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now TikTok. And as always, y'all be good, be safe.